Day 100 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, guys, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem. This time we're at day 100, guys. We done made it 100 days of doing a LeetCode problem every day. Now, that's a challenge in and of itself. So if you made it this far and you've been sticking with the channel the whole time, give yourself a pat on the back because we are officially on day 100 doing our 100th LeetCode problem, guys. So I hope you're excited about that, and I hope that encourages you to stay motivated and stay disciplined and keep going on the LeetCode journey that we're on, guys, because we're just getting started and we have a lot more to learn. Now, before we get started, don't forget, bring a mouse right over here and click that subscribe button for me, guys. Then after you click that subscribe button, go ahead and smash that like button for me, guys. And then after you smash that like button, I'm calling all of my bankers. I repeat, all of my bankers to the comment section right now. I need you to drop 2 bank emojis in the comments so we can run this engagement up and we can help get this Swift content out to a broader audience and help get more people interested in the Swift programming language as a whole and do our part to help build the Swift community, guys. So I hope you guys are excited about what we have to do today. And today we have question number 2037, minimum number of moves to seat everyone. The difficulty level is easy, so you guys already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well, because we're all trying to learn here and there's no point in writing code that nobody understands. Now, with all that being said, let's see what the question says. It says there are n available seats and n students standing in a room. You are given an array seats of length n, where seats I is the position of the ith seat, and you're also given an array students of length n, where students j is the position of the jth student. You may perform the following moves any number of times. So we can increase or decrease the position of the ith student by 1, i.e. moving the ith student from position x to x plus 1 or x minus 1. We'll return the minimum number of moves required to move each student to a seat such that no 2 students are in the same seat. Note that there may be multiple seats or students in the same position at the beginning. So let's break that down and see what it means. So let's look at example 1. Example 1, we have the input seats, which is an array of integers 3, 1, and 5. And we also have students, which is an array of integers, which is 2, 7, and 4. The output is 4 because the explanation says the students are moved as follows. So let's break it down before we go on with the explanation. So what this is doing, right, is it's basically, let's say this is seats right here. It's basically like a linear line kind of that represents each position. So we'll say this is seat 1, we'll come over here, we'll say seat 3 is right here, then we'll come over here and say this is seat 5, right? Then we'll come down here and say, let's say this is students. So then, hold on, let's get this over some. So then we have students, right? And so with the students, we have a student at 2, we have a student at 4, and we have a student at 7. So we have to find how many moves it would take to get each of these students in a seat, right? So it says the first student, the explanation says the first student is moved from position 2 to position 1. So this student moves right here. Boom, hold on. Well, yeah, so student 2 moves to position 1. So position 1, it will come right here. So 2 moves right there. So now 2 has a seat. Then it says the second student is moved from position 7 to position 5 using 2 moves. So the count right now, we already used 1 move. This has to go to position 5, which is 2 moves away. So we put 7 right there. Now we've used 2 moves. Then the third student is moved from position 4 to position 3 using 1 move. And total, there's 1 plus 2 plus 1 equal 4 moves. So this 4 can come right here at seat 3 in one move because it was already at 4. And now all the students have a seat, right? So that's how that works. It took us 4 moves to do that, and that's the output is 4. So let's look at example 2 so we can really make it make sense. So this time in example 2, hold on, let's get rid of this. This time in example 2, we have the input seats, so its seats are at the input seats, so the seats are at position, or we have 1 and 1. But then we have position 4, position 5, and position 9, right? And then the students are at, okay, so it's a student at 1, then it's another student, it's another student at 3, then it's another student, we got another student at 2, hold on, then we have another student at 6. So the output is 7 because it takes 7 moves to get every student in a seat, and the explanation says the students are moved as follows. The first student is not moved, so the first student is already in a seat. It's in seat 1, so it doesn't have to move. The second student is moved from position 3 to position 4 using 1 move. So it only takes 1 move to go 3 to 4, so we put the 3 right here. And now we've used our first move. That's the first move we used. The third student, what does it say? It says the third student is moved from 2 to position 5 using 3 moves. So it's going to take 3 moves. It's going to have to go from 3, 4 to 5. That's going to be 3 moves right there. So we're going to move the 2 to position 5. And then the 6, that says the fourth student is moved from position 6 to position 9 using 3 moves. So 6 will go to 9, and that took 3 moves, 7, 8, 9. And all in total, there were 7 moves. 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3 equals 7. 7 moves were used in total. Thus, the output is 7, guys. So that's basically how it works with that is how it works with a visual representation. I'm not going to go over example 3, but it's the same principle. We have no input of seats, students, the input. In this case, the output would be 4, and the explanation explains why that would be. Now that we understand how the question works and what the question is asking, let's get into the fun part, which is the code, the part that we're all here for, we all want to know how to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to declare a variable called result. And we're going to set that equal to 0. That's going to represent our count. We're going to count the moves. We're going to use that to keep count of how many moves we've used. Then we're going to say let seats equal seats.sorted. So we're going to sort the seats in order. Then we're going to do the same thing with the students. We're going to say let students equal students.sorted. Then we're going to come down here and we are going to say for I and 0 up to seats.count. Let seat equal seats I. Then we'll come over here and we'll say let student equal students. Open up the array bracket and put I. Excuse me, that should be students, not student though. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to say result plus equal ABS. Open up the parentheses and we're going to say seat minus student. And that's going to just give us the absolute value. It doesn't matter if one number is bigger than the other. That's basically just going to give us the absolute value. So if it returns a negative number, it's going to return 2. Say it returns negative 2. Say the answer is negative 2. It's just going to return 2. It's just going to return the absolute value, and that's going to count the number of seats that has to move. And then, so we're going to come down here, and we are going to say return result, guys. And that's all she wrote. Let's run it and see how it runs. Hopefully it runs right and correct how it's supposed to. Let's see. And it's accepted, y'all. So now we can submit it and see what happens after we submit it. See if it goes through again. Hopefully it does. And yes, it does, guys. 9 milliseconds beat 87.53% of users with Swift, guys. Not too bad at all, y'all. Not bad for a 100th problem. So get one more look at the code. There it is, guys. And I hope to see you guys here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. Peace.